we come to the gift of helps, like this is everything. If we don't have people with the gift of helps, nothing gets done. It doesn't matter how clear the vision is. It doesn't matter how well we are administrating it, right? It doesn't matter how many gifts there are in operation here. If we don't have that help gift, it just ain't gonna happen. And so every weekend when we come together, on the weekends at our campuses to worship God, and the kids ministry and the greeters, the helpers all over the place. When you got a women's Bible study, helpers behind the scene. When you got a ministry to community development and helping out in our schools or filling the van, helpers all around these things. So here it is, the gift of helps. The Spirit-given ability to serve where needed so that God's work is advanced. And if we don't have this gift, we ain't going anywhere. So this is, in a sense, the engine that drives God's work forward. Now, I don't want us to get reductionistic about any of these gifts, like the gifts only deal with programs. No, they don't. So this is a gift that's going to work with people. This is going to be a gift that works within programs that are all about serving and ministering to people, right? So it carries the idea of taking a burden on oneself. So you take on some of this burden, because if the leader has to do this, they're not going to be able to do their role, all right? So next, the gift, like all others, has people in view first and foremost, not just a program. This gift of helps is sometimes seen as separate from the gift of service or ministry, as it's mentioned like in Romans 12:7. But I take it more like synonymous. So the gift of helps, the gift of service, the gift of ministry, all one and the same word, different dictionaries, if you will, okay? All right, contribution. This gift builds up the body, the church, by serving and helping out where needed. In many ways, these people are the engine of much of the church's ministry. So people with this gift are motivated to serve as they see, when they see needs. How can I help, right? They will serve wherever and whenever. Always asking that question, how can I help? Usually enjoy working behind the scenes. Don't ask the person with help to go up and give announcements. That is just death for them. Get them behind the scenes. That's where you love, right? To serve. There's more. They're faithful and they're reliable. You can count on these workers. They have this can-do attitude toward the tasks that need accomplishing within an organization or for a person personally, right? Now, here's some cautions, really important. You can't do everything, so you gotta learn to say no. Second caution, be careful that you don't get discouraged, and with that, maybe even bitter. Like Martha saying, Lord, can you get my sister Mary off of her knees to come and help me in the kitchen? So when others aren't serving, be careful that you're not discouraged and grow bitter. Remember to serve in the strength that God supplies, not your own. So burnout, when it happens, and it often does in ministry, whether you're full-time or you're given lots of hours as a volunteer, layperson, that when burnout's happening, usually it's because we're not saying no. And the reason we're not saying no is our identity is not getting wrapped around Jesus. It's getting wrapped around what I do for Jesus. And that seems like the same thing, but it's fundamentally different. And you don't want to go there. And the other sign of burnout is we're just doing it in our own strength. And so Peter talks about we need to serve in his strength for his glory. And even in weakness, we'll find his strength. So always relying on his strength. All right, that brings us to an interesting gift. And the interesting thing about this gift is if you have it, it not only is a huge blessing to, say, like your small group, but man, it could be a huge liability to your own spiritual growth. Check out the gift of knowledge next.